Are you thinking about starting your own handmade business? In this video, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of starting a handmade business so you're prepared for both the really fun and exciting stuff that can happen, but also the ugly side of things. Keep watching. Hey there, my name is May and I help makers, artists, and designers create a consistent income from selling their handmade products online. If you're planning to start a handmade business, or even if you've already got one, but you still feel unprepared and you're not sure how things are going to go, I want to share with you the comparisons on the wonderful pros and the awful cons for your handmade business. So you'll have a head start and have some ideas before you even dive into this new adventure. If you like my content, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell button for more videos like this one. The first pro is you get to work from home, or you can work from anywhere that's convenient for you. And that is a dream come true for most people, I would think. There's no hassle going into your car or riding public transit like the bus or the subway and spending hours every week just to get to work. You get to be in the comfort of your own home. You can sleep in when you want. You can take a nap when you want. You can even work from your bed if you really want to. So really, I mean, those are just a few of the benefits you get when you work where you live. You control that life. You can take time off whenever you want, go on vacation, take a trip to the craft store, make your own lunch. It can be an amazing life. But even though working from home can be great, it can be detrimental to work in the same space that you live in. You probably have a pretty big stash of crafting supplies, right? You do need some extra space in your home to store those supplies, equipment, materials, packaging boxes, bubble wrap. That can be pretty big. And it can quickly feel messy. And if you've ever read or watched Marie Kondo, you'll know that messy spaces can take an emotional toll on you. The key would be to be as organized as you can after each project. But let's face it, we all know we have multiple projects happening at once, right? So maybe clean up after every working day so you can start with a fresh, clean space on the next workday. The second pro is financial freedom. When you have a successful handmade business, you can reap the rewards of profit from your sales, right? And as sales go up, so does your profit you gain, which is nice, and why we call this financial freedom, because all the restraints of making an income, which is called an income ceiling, is removed. Compared to being an employee working at a regular 9-to-5 job, you will always be paid a certain fixed amount. But on the other side of that coin, you now have a ton of financial obligations. Every business needs to start with some capital, even if you're a tiny handmade business selling for fun on Etsy. It's actually kind of expensive to run a business. I don't recommend starting your own business to anyone who needs to make those sales to pay for bills or to put a roof over your head or to put food on the table. If you're in that situation, the best thing you can do is get a stable job first, unfortunately. This might even become a sacrifice for some of you, especially if you need to use your personal savings or retirement funds or investments for the expense of daily living expenses or for your family's needs. For other people, they might take out a loan. Not to mention, it does get really tricky, especially if you're not fond of numbers or money management, to do proper accounting and cash management, which is so important to monitor closely. Otherwise, it is very easy to start leaking cash and you'll feel like you're not bringing home any money even though you have made some sales. Believe me, I have been there myself several times and it is not fun. Pro number 3, you are in control. You are your own boss. When you've got your own handmade business, you'll be the one to make the decisions for almost all of the operations. You get to decide. You get to call the shots. You don't have to consult with a boss or answer to a supervisor. You control your own life and your career, and this can be super liberating and empowering. But on the flip side, this can be really frightening for some of you, depending on your personality type. If you don't plan your business well, like when an idea comes to you, People tend to just dive in without proper planning or thinking about the long-term outcome of that decision, and that can lead to potential failure. There is a lot of trial and error and experimentation when you work for yourself. There are risks, definitely, and to avoid them as much as possible, proper strategic planning is essential. Just give some thought as to the possible outcomes and do research and listen to other business owners that have gone through similar experiences like me and see how they were able to make it work. Even the simple action of knowing your goals and knowing what destination you want to head to once you start your journey can help. Pro number 4, when you have your own handmade business, you become a creator of opportunities. These are opportunities in your local community or even in the online global community. You are now in a position where you can employ help and hire people and give them jobs. But not just that, you are also providing solutions for people who need your products. You're helping the society and its economy as a whole, whether or not you realize it. Even when you purchase materials and supplies from your vendors, those products had to come from somewhere, and there are lots of people behind that process of making those products that you're supporting because you're buying their stuff. The con to that is there is definitely a lot of risk involved when running your own business. Risks are inevitable in business, in life in general, right? But you risk your ideas and products getting copied. You risk meeting and making unhappy customers. You risk making business decisions that go south, not to mention the financial risks, which is very scary and can be hard to overcome as you're just getting started. Which is why I say you need to have some capital when you start a business. On the bright side, as you go along in your journey, you will learn, if you're open to learning, how to develop effective ways to solve even the most taxing issues at hand. I mean, think about how much brainstorming and problem solving Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk had to do in establishing their company and how they were able to overcome problems, especially when no one knew who they were. So you will find your way. The most important thing is don't give up. Number 5, passion. Most of you will birth a business out of a passion for the craft you make. It's a hobby for you, whether that's jewelry making or knitting or sculpting or painting. I remember when I first started my business, making miniature food jewelry was all I could think about. This is embarrassing, but I even failed school exams because crafting was all I could focus on. And if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. You know, a lot of people ask me what I like to do in my free time. And honestly, I love working on my businesses. It's fun and I am so passionate about it. Most people don't get that. Having said that, I want to make a point that there is absolutely no shame in starting a business just for the money and because you see potential. Even if passion was not a part of that equation, that doesn't make it wrong. It's still a job and it's not a bad thing to get paid for it, even if you have no personal interest in it. Slightly separate topic, but it is very challenging to find that perfect business with that perfect ideal customer. So sometimes starting a business purely out of passion doesn't always guarantee you'll make sales because you may not have any demand for those products you make. So just take the time to learn who your customers are, and that will give you some background or idea of what kind of business you want to start. Research is very important and it can take a lot of resources, whether that's energy, effort, money, or time to ensure success for your business. Pro number 6. There cannot be a better time to start a handmade online business today because you have so many options for setting up your shop. It is so easy to get started these days. There's Etsy, Amazon, Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, and that's just naming just a few of the places you can sell on. There are also new platforms out now that can help connect you and potential brick and mortar store buyers to buy your products wholesale. And it used to be that doing wholesale meant you had to work with sales reps or a showroom or do a trade show, which would all cost thousands of dollars. And now you can just sign up for a free account on sites like faire.com where they put your products in front of potential retail buyers, and when you make a sale, you just pay a commission. But like for every pro, there is a con. And for this, it's just really time consuming now to run a handmade business. You have to make your products, package and fulfill orders, do customer service, promote your business, post on social media. The list goes on. So manage your time well, or you can ask or hire help. Those are all the pros and cons for this video, and by no means is this an exhaustive list. I would love to hear from you actually. If you are currently running your own business, what other pros and cons you can think of, and let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video. If you found this video helpful, stay on to watch this next video on the screen. I only share and talk about things that I know will help you and your handmade business, so I'm confident this next video will help you too.